Hello, and welcome to the Building Blocks of Jazz. Today we're going to look at the piano, and more specifically we're going to look at how jazz piano styles developed over time to modern-day jazz piano styles. Now, most of you may not realize that jazz piano has its roots in ragtime, which in turn were influenced by marches. Early jazz pianists like Jelly Roll Morton and Lil Hardin took these influences and incorporated them into the new style of music called jazz that was developing. I want you to take a listen to this first example. This is Jelly Roll Morton. As you listen, pay attention to the musical liberties that he takes and how he incorporates improvisation into this classic march. Give a listen. As jazz took hold as America's popular music in the 1920s, a new style of jazz piano developed in New York out of Harlem during a period which we now call the Harlem Renaissance. Musicians like James P. Johnson, Earl Hines, Willie the Lion Smith, and Teddy Wilson experimented with a style of piano that became known as stride. It's very intense from a technique standpoint, and the name stride comes from the left hand, which strides up and down the piano and looks something like this. Just to give you a taste of a song played in a stride style, here's Duke Ellington's It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing. Also in the 1920s, and capitalizing on the blues craze, a parallel style of jazz piano developed, which we call boogie woogie. It was championed by pianists like Meade Lux Lewis and Albert Ammons. Also featured a very intricate left hand. It looks something like this. Fast forward to the 1930s and a pianist named Count Basie, who we really know for his jazz band, but we don't often think about how he revolutionized the jazz piano style through that ensemble. If you think about a jazz band, you have bass, drums, and a horn section. So a lot of instruments with a very thick texture. There wasn't a lot of need for the very active left hand of stride piano, even though Count Basie grew up as a stride pianist. His solution was to take the left hand out and mainly focus on the rhythmic and harmonic aspect of the piano, and came up with a concept which we call comping, which comes from the word to accompany. And it kind of sounded something like this. You can see very rhythmic, but yet very open. Fast forward to the middle of the century with pianists like Thelonious Monk, and even further with pianists like Cecil Taylor that experimented with more of the rhythmic and harmonic aspects and tone clusters of jazz music. A tone cluster is a very close grouping of notes, something like maybe this. All of these influences go into how a modern jazz pianist approaches the piano. So my style incorporates everything from ragtime to stride piano to modern day advances by Thelonious Monk and Cecil Taylor. And as I leave you today, I'm going to play something for you that incorporates all of these ideas.